because I figured
As
it out
usual.
finally. Okay, we're probably good. Hello. One more time.
Let's try that again.
I'm leaving it in there. Hello,
Oh, man.
and welcome to episode 13. I hope it is 13. I didn't actually check. Of Barely a Destiny Show, the show where we barely talk about Destiny. Today, we will be doing an in-depth discussion about Destiny 2. We're going to talk about all the systems and stuff, but before we get to that, let's go around the table and say hello to everybody. We got Xanafan711, my brother Steve. What's up, brother?
What's going on? How's it going?
It's been going good. What's your week been like?
I finally finished VOG, so that was nice. So now I'm 2 out of 4 done. But I did get 3 guns. So I got a Praetorian Foil, Praetus Timepiece, and Fatebringer. So it was a good run.
We ran earlier today, and I got nothing that I didn't already have, so... we also have Slapshot Scott here. Scott, what's up, my dude?
Not much, man. Just went out a couple weeks ago. Went to see some friends in Mass for a reunion show, and that was a blast. Lots of good stuff there. Been playing a lot of Destiny. Friday nights, my usual raid night, we ran Wrath of the Machine, got the Axis Challenge last week, and this week we did Crota Run and got a couple friends their first clear in challenge mode. So it's been good.
I played Crota yesterday with shout out to Buster from RNG Cast. We had a good team going. But you know when like somebody's like, I gotta go, man, I just gotta go, and you get another and clear it the next round? I always feel so bad for the guy who has to bail.
I don't.
They're the Blitz.
Yeah, the Blitz. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
How I Met Your Mother jokes coming from our guest today, AnonPig. He's slipping down LaCroix. I'm kidding. It's probably not LaCroix.
No, LaCroix's all right. Look, I don't want to say that I don't like LaCroix and then get people attacking me. It's just vanilla cherry Pepsi, which might also get people attacking me.
Pepsi! Especially with what's going on YouTube right now. Pepsi.
Oh.
Hot topic. You know what we're not going to talk about today, though?
Pepsi.
No, I was going to say we're not going to talk about what happened with Twitch. There was a thing that happened with Twitch in the affiliate program. I've heard it on about every podcast this entire week, so we're not going to talk about it.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, are you kidding me? You know
I did this to him yesterday.
Like just in general, like that they have the affiliate program, or
yeah, everyone's been like talking about that a lot, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. It's an awesome thing that happened. It's awesome. That's as much as we're going to talk about it. So I guess that's the end of the intro. Today, I think we're going to be playing. You guys want to listen to secret stuff or sports at the end of the show?
Do sports.
Okay, we're going to listen to more sports because no one has been sending in their bands. If you are in a band, just send us an email at barelyadestinyshow@gmail.com, and we will play your music on here, and you'll probably just be on the show too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking care of housekeeping. I always forget to do this until the end. That was our Gmail. We're on Twitter at barelyADS. That's pretty much it. We do have some emails today from the community. We have 2.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
And I think a tweet. So, do you guys want to start off talking about stuff, or do you want to do emails first?
Let's do emails first.
Oh, shit. I was just about to be like, let's do emails later so I can look them up. Because I haven't looked them up.
Well, then, let's do emails later.
All right. So, to get started today, I said we're going to be talking about Destiny 2 and the systems in Destiny 2. So, this is an in-depth look about what we want, what we think is going to happen, not necessarily a wish list of, like, oh, it'd be so sick if they could have blah, blah, blah. First up is Crucible. So, I think a good place to start is changes to game modes. I mean, we have, Supremacy, Rift, Control, Salvage, Elimination, Doubles, Clash. Am I forgetting any?
I don't think so.
I think that's it. Well, Trials is a separate beast. Is there anything that we can talk about that we would want changed in any of these game modes besides maybe special ammo economy, which I have on here as well.
I think that a good place to start with any discussion on Destiny 2 is you got to mitigate your expectations. I've been hearing a lot of crazy stuff, people wanting like insane things that would change the game. And it's like, one good thing to keep in mind is Destiny is popular for a reason. And I think that's where a lot of people, like, you know, a lot of people want to push it more towards like Halo. Others want to push it more towards Call of Duty. And it's like, wouldn't be Destiny then, guys.
Oh, man. I've been hearing...
Oh,
Oh, mute your phone. Mute. I've been hearing people... Like,
Was that a hammer?
No, it's the level up sound from EverQuest. That's number
It
one
is.
for today's episode. Take a drink.
I was just asking because I actually pulled the Hammer of Soul activation from Reddit or something and made that a ringtone. So now when I get text messages, I hear the Titan Hammer.
Well, I think let's bring up something that everybody's been asking for, and it's like 60 frames per second. You guys think that's gonna? I think that's very achievable. What do you guys think if we're gonna get that or not?
I don't know.
I'm not.
I hope so.
I'm not much of a tech guy like that, but it seems to be a standard in the industry today for games to be 60 frames per second. I just don't know how consoles would have that, especially with PC. PC, it's like they say it's a necessity. I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna have to be, or people are gonna rage.
Yeah, I think that's a good point that with PC coming, that PC people will absolutely lose their shit if it's not at least 60. And then if you're going to design it for 60, why would you not give us that on the console?
Limitations.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of work, though, to make a 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second version of it. I think that's very manageable. I think that's something that will happen.
Well, even so, there's been a lot of talk, you know, just talking PC versus console in Destiny 2. There's been a lot of talk of how they're going to balance it. I think that's going to be a big... I mean, there's two big things other than 60 FPS. The first that I've heard a lot of discussion on is how they're going to balance it, like weapon-wise and things like that between two different platforms. And the other thing is actually how...
Yes.
I'm trying to think of how to like phrase it. Just fucking blanked.
I think that they should do separate balances for PvE and PvP.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
console and PC
That's what
as well.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yep.
meant. I actually take back my first statement. I don't
Well,
want
then I'll
separate balances for those two.
I'll say your first statement because I would like to see that on some level, not like on like every balance pass they have the PvE side and the PvP side, but PvE guns have been broken because of PvP, and it's very upsetting. And it's nothing they haven't done before because in House of Wolves the shotguns got a massive buff, and they were like the most fun thing to use in PvE. But it was only in PvE that they received the buff. Oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah.
And then they undid it.
I mean,
Yep.
didn't the most recent patch had that, right? They had a buff to
Yeah,
shotguns in PvE, or not necessarily buff, but not
It was
under-
the crit thing. So like they took away
yeah.
crit in PvP, but it's still in PvE.
Okay.
Well, I was actually just talking about this the other day, speaking to what Anon just said about PvE versus PvP balancing. And I, of course, I say things and I get myself in trouble with people. They get pissed off, and I try to like mitigate them. But basically, the scoring nerf, that thing really tweaked me because everybody's like, "Oh, it's broken." People scory camp in trials until they get super, and then they go out and they win the round. And I've talked to a few people who play trials, and I said, you know, you guys like try for the lighthouse every weekend. I know it's a small sample size, but have you ever run into this scory camping? Like, what are they talking about? Because I never get past the first round in trials. I'm terrible. And they both laughed, and they're like, yeah, dude, we've run into it a couple times. Doesn't matter. We just book it to their spawn and snipe them in the face. You know? They're like, if you don't want to move, that's fine. You're easier to kill. And so I laugh about that, whereas, you know, that got tweaked, and then it kind of broke it for PvE, like in the raids and stuff. Because you have to get a kill every minute or something to activate it.
Yeah.
And if you get into a cycle where you get wiped and your super gets taken along with the other, Templar, Atheon, and then you can't build until you start that next activity, it starts this cycle of 20 minutes of, okay, go in, kill ads, suicide before they can wipe you to build super, and then finally after like 5 or 6 times, you go at it. And if you fail and you lose your supers again, guess what? Got to do it again.
I do feel that that's pretty irritating because I think that a lot of these encounters are designed to have your supers and ammo ready. And even the like burning synth, like that's fine. But I mean, if we could just start the encounter with heavy ammo, even like half of it would be nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I disagree about the scories thing because we've gone 2 full years without scories and never had an issue. So if all that makes you do is kill ads, have a super run, like that's all it is. It's just like an ammo run. You know, it's just kill ads, build up your super, and then go in and actually give it a try. That's all it is. But with the ammo, I completely agree. I don't know who said it, but they've actually said that exact thing. Like, why not just give us ammo when we respawn? Like, why is that such a hard thing to do?
I mean, and if you want to burn a synth like mid-encounter, then do it.
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
I don't want to go in my menu to burn a synth. I think
exactly.
If there wasn't a timer, I think that would be like a legitimate thing that you have to go into the menu because that's like, oh, well, you know, there's got to be some punishment. But the timer is enough punishment. Just let me replace an emo.
That was the other thing I was going to ask. Why do we even have cooldowns?
On what?
Like, you already have to go in on synths. You already have to go into your menu, press the square button so it activates a synth. Like, that, I think, is enough time because if you're in the middle of an encounter and you're getting completely, you know, fucking hammered and you're running out of heavy, like...
Okay, so how would you feel if you didn't have to go in your menu, but when you do go to, like, pop a heavy synth, maybe he's got to, like, pop down and like throw his backpack out and like do some kind of animation or something like that. That way you're not just like, boom, got heavy, bam, bam, bam. You know, give it a little bit. But I at least want to be able to look around and make sure I'm not going to get shot in my face while I'm doing it.
Right.
Like the argument I heard was that either we shouldn't have cooldowns or we should respawn with heavy because respawning with heavy is not going to break the game.
Yeah.
The ability to just pop heavy after heavy, that would get a little ridiculous on certain bosses, but
would you rather
very rare cases?
Would you rather have cooldowns and synths or no synths at all, but you always respawn with heavy ammo?
I'd rather have cooldowns and respawn on my deck.
Oh, you want both?
No, because like I don't think they should take out cooldowns, but I think that they should make it so you respawn with your heavy ammo because today when we were in Vault of Glass, I ran out of special and heavy ammo, and I can only pop a synth for one of those.
Yeah, those should be separate cooldowns at least.
Yeah, I pop my synth, and that's 5 minutes of no special, no heavy, and I'm just sitting there shooting the Templar with Vision of Confluence, and I felt useless. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll try, guys. I'm sorry that I'm really getting the carry here.
That was happening to me the other night, too. I literally ran out of all bullets at one point, even. Yeah.
I kind of like that, though, because then you get it all back. Nice little refill, 3 sleeper shots in the chamber. So we kind of got into raids real quick. Bring it back over to the Crucible. But speaking of special ammo, I think this is kind of a necessary thing to get out of the way so we don't end up saying it on every single note here. How do you guys feel about the special ammo economy in Destiny 2? Are you okay with the ammo economy we have right now? Or would you like to see something different in Destiny 2? 'Cause one of the things I thought of was like the Mass Effect 1 strategy where you just have to like recharge ammo. So like picture everything being kind of like Icebreaker. I don't know if I'd like it, but that's an idea I had.
Maybe a little slower than Icebreaker.
God, okay.
just a tiny bit.
Icebreaker needs to have like 60 seconds where you can't regenerate ammo immediately after respawning because Trials fucking sucks because of that. Like when we were playing, I know we were like, okay, let's try and like get to them as quickly as possible so that way they don't have time to get Icebreaker ammo, and like that never happened.
Oh yeah, you get it really fast.
So I think the timer on that's too fast. But what do you guys think about the special ammo economy for Destiny 2? Do you think we're going to keep what we have?
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I think there's been enough of an outcry with people not happy with the special ammo economy the way it is right now, that they probably will make some change. Again, this is something I was kind of talking about with some people the other day, and it's one of those things where there's a lot of strong opinions. So personally, I think that it's one of those things where it works 80% of the time, 90% of the time, something like that. But that other 10% that it doesn't, like say you're respawning in 6s and you're trying to get out of your spawn, you're getting spawn trapped. And then somebody decides to go super, and that's like, 2 rounds right there. That's happened to me before. I'm probably not a good example because I'm terrible in the Crucible, but it's, you don't have anything to counter that. There's no like one hit kill ability to counter that super that's incoming after you just respawned. So it's almost like you're being punished twice.
I've been playing. I had to do a sidearm bounty, and I pulled out the old wormwood, and I really think that the amount of ammo you spawn with feels good with that. Like that feels perfect because I get a kill, maybe 2 with it, but then I got to use my primary. So like it feels very like you got to save it for the proper engagement space. And I wonder if we could do something like that with the other weapon classes for special. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many shots it would get, but like there's got to be some kind of magic number of like this feels like a good amount for me to have. You know what I mean? Like maybe 4 or 5 shotgun shells.
But keep in mind, a full mag is
4 or
like
5?
6, depending on the.
Maybe 3 shotgun shells.
Well, I think that the number of shotgun shells would have to differ depending on the archetype of shotgun.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's going to get it. That's going to be a
even-
real pain in the ass to balance, though. You got to think of that
Oh yeah.
from the developer side of things. That's why they have things separated into archetypes, or at least that's my theory. They talk so much about archetypes, like in the 1,000-yard stare meta. They're like 1,000-yard stare, high impact archetypes have had this, and this changes, and then afterwards in parentheses they gave like 3 examples of it. I think that's how they have it set up to balance.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little too soon to say like what the special ammo economy is going to be with Destiny 2 because it's going to be so up in the air. Like we don't know how guns are going to work in Destiny 2. Like obviously we're going to have guns, but maybe shotguns aren't special. Maybe shotguns are heavy now, something like that. Like these one-hit kill weapons are even more specialized than they were originally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind the special ammo economy right now. Whenever I use just a regular secondary, if I want special, I can usually just go get it. Like it's not really an issue. There are occasional matches where you're like, I really want to get some shotgun kills in, and I just can't seem to get special. But it seems very few and far between. So I don't know. I don't have an issue with it, but I also mostly just use Icebreaker. So
part of the problem, bro. Part of the problem.
Like I think it's in a really good place right now, and I know a lot of people say it's not in a fun place, but I enjoy it a lot more because I enjoy primary battles a lot more. And really the only issue I see is Icebreaker, and that's only in trials. And I think it was actually Josh Hamrick that said Icebreaker works fine in every location except for trials, and because of that they're not just going to break it, which I think is just a good mentality that we're seeing from Bungie. Just because something doesn't work in one area doesn't mean that they're just going to ruin it in every other area, because they've done that enough throughout these years.
I will say, though, that Icebreaker being as predominant as it is in Trials has made me completely never want to go back. Like,
Icebreaker, that's it?
Dude, I have a very strained relationship with Trials. I fucking hate Trials. It's stupid. Please carry me to the lighthouse. I just want it for the book. I just want to go. And I want to see it.
You've never been?
I've never been in the lighthouse.
Oh, that sucks.
I want to go walk around in on Mercury and look at stuff, and because people always talk about, oh, Osiris has that Vex body, right? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never seen it. I refuse to look up what anybody walking around there. I've never seen it at all. I have no idea what it looks like.
I'll YouTube it. I like the Trials game mode. It's fun, and I like the strategy of it. But the thing that gets to me is like, just getting in and having to try every week. I mean, I haven't played in a couple weeks now, and my biggest problem is, like I said, I'm not very strong in PvP. But things like, I don't know, Icebreaker, that does kind of piss me off. I know we've had a few rounds where when we tried to play a card, Steve and Ben, where we got absolutely worked, and it was like the most frustrating thing ever. Just like, yep, done.
Yeah, we didn't get. I couldn't finish my bounties because we couldn't win a single match. I hated it, and I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. I swear. I get 2.0s every now and again. Okay. Speaking of Trials. Oh shit! This transition sucks. Trials is a game mode, and other game modes could be introduced into Destiny 2. Saved it. Here's some ideas I had. What do you guys think about like multi-team, actual capture the flag? With 2 flags. King of the Hill, maybe like some big team stuff. You guys, what do you guys think about having multi-team?
Do you
That's
like
my
lag?
favorite idea.
Do I like lag? Or are you talking about the big team?
Yeah, the big team stuff. I think it's tough because like the red bar and the latency issues, they come and go. They're really prevalent some weeks in the Crucible, other weeks not so much. I don't have any real issues when I play PvE and stream, I'm doing strikes or whatever. But the second I try to stream with anything in a team of 6s or even the occasional skirmish bounty 3s, I go red bar. Or you're in a lobby with a couple people who are red bars and they're teleporting all over. I mean, there was one Iron Banner match, I think it was last time, where there was a Warlock, and he was, I think I told you guys about this. We had a terrible King's Fall that it was just a glitchy night, very laggy encounter. And then, of course, we're like, okay, well, we'll go to Iron Banner and we'll play through that, just blow off some steam. And it's like we ran into every red bar son of a bitch on the planet that night. I couldn't figure out why. We were all green barred, but it was just the lag seems more prevalent in Crucible, and I think that's because of the connection system the way it is now. So a lot of people say dedicated servers would save that, would change that issue.
Yeah,
I'm not 100%. I'm not a network guy, so I don't really know. I can't really speak to that. I would like to see something about the red bars done because there's sometimes you just get it and it's like it's unbearable.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Were the people that were lagging, did they have 671 at the end of their gamer tags?
Were you trying to say they're from Guam?
Yeah, the Guam guys are always red barring. Always.
Well, I mean, I feel like anytime you're playing with somebody out of the country, it's probably going to lag.
Oh, they lag to each other too. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, their internet.
I mean, they're on an island, so makes sense.
I think that multi-team would be fucking sweet. I really want that.
Me too. That's my favorite of your ideas in that list.
I mean,
I'd actually like to see like a PvE element in the PvP modes as well. Like DJ's actually been asked, like, after the Division came out, like, what did you think about like that? Like when you were making Destiny, like, have you ever thought like Patrol could be a place where you'd attack people? And I don't like that. And I think DJ's answer was something along the lines of like, we wanted you to see someone and think that guy can help me out right now.
Yeah.
And I do like that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, could you get that sort of together into the PvP? And something I've always wanted is the bigger maps. First off, more bigger maps. And second off, for the bigger maps to be actually utilized. So imagine Bastion, which is the Mars map, since no one knows, with some Cabal stuff. Sorry, the lighting goes in and out here. Some Cabal stuff and some Vex structures, and you have interceptors and all that nonsense. And it's just 6v6, but at like 2, maybe 3 times during the match, a giant like Colossus or Minotaur, like an actual PvE enemy, spawns in with like trash mob ads, and whoever's team puts in the most damage on him gets the points after killing him. He's trying to kill everyone, so essentially both teams have to work together on taking out this boss, but at the same time, you want to take their team out so that you can get more damage on him. So it's got like a give and take of PvE and PvP in one environment.
I think the big
That
part
reminds
of
me
that
of-
is I would like PvE in my PvP. I don't want PvP in my PvE.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
I think
say,
it,
Steve?
that actually. Go ahead,
Um,
Steve.
I was just gonna say that reminds me a lot of PvP servers in the old MMOs, but
Like what?
only when you're EverQuest 2.
2 mentions we got of it.
Or talent.
No, but dungeon crawling in the PvP servers was a lot like that. You'd be fighting another team to take out a boss. And it would be like trading back and forth, and the bosses would spawn on timers every so often. But like, you'd wait for them to attack the boss, and then when they do, you go in and you wipe their team out, and then you kill the boss and you get the rewards.
Yeah.
And it was like, so you're battling each other and the bosses for the rewards that the bosses drop. It was, I don't know, it was a lot of fun, and I could definitely see something only in the dungeons. Like I agree, in the open world, you don't want to be killing other guardians.
No, I think that would kill the
And-
sense of community we have if you're just like, oh, I never patrol because the fucking dickhead's just going to snipe me every time I try and kill a fallen.
Yeah, and I think with I know you said this was supposed to be more about Destiny 2. With Destiny 2's sort of setting that we're getting delivered here, we're like on the run. You know, we're sort of we've sort of fallen in our own society. So having the Crucible be less managed, where the enemies can actually spawn in and start disrupting Crucible matches, that just seems to fit.
Yeah,
It does, yeah.
that would be so fun.
I think that could be a really cool thing for like a Challenge of the Elders game mode, where it's like you've got Team 1 and Team 2, and whoever kills the boss gets the points. Similar to like Rift or Salvage, but instead of securing a relic, you're like trying to burn a boss down.
I think it'd also be cool if like something that you do hinders the other team. Like I've been playing a lot of like battle Tetris lately, and like when you clear like a big block, it'll send that many lines to the other player and like boost their thing up. So I'm trying to think if there's any way you could do something crazy like, oh well, like we took out all of these like sub boss people, like whatever the next layer down, and then it just like spawns more people for the other team. Like imagine
Or
trying to
if
do like
you-
2 Challenge of Elders at once. The more you kill, the more comes at the other team.
Like if you
I think
kill
a lot
a
of people would-
captain, maybe you get a buff. You know, you could do something like that.
I think a lot of people would get super tilted at that game mode.
Oh yeah, baby! It's all about.
I can hear the salt. Yeah, I can hear the salt
just-
already.
Can you hear
How's
the
that feel like-
Competitive PvP seems a little iffy to me.
Yeah.
Just like PvE elements and PvP, I think that'd be the sweet spot. I gotta stop shaking my desk.
So here's a question for PvP. Do you guys think we're going to get a ranked playlist?
Oh fuck yeah!
Fucking better. Oh, can I
yeah.
swear?
People have been talking
Oh
that.
Yes.
fuck yeah!
Swear away. Fucking elegant.
I asked that not because I'm gonna stop, but because I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna start swearing.
Yeah. I think that takes a lot of that PvP down. Let's move on a little bit to. This is gonna get more into, I guess, some lore stuff because it's tied into the story. So I have here thinking about for the story missions, not the strikes or the raids. Quest systems that are oriented more around talking to NPCs and social zones. Acquire quests from factions. And what do you guys think about maybe like Crucible quests being tied a little bit more into lore?
Oh, I definitely think they should do that.
They tied some Crucible quests into lore. Like if you look at Thorn,
Like
there's
Thorn,
a
yeah.
Pretty much all the original vanilla Destiny quests went through the Crucible, and they were some of the more lore-driven weapons.
Yeah. See, I'd like to see
So-
a lot more like that. Not just like when Ikor is like, prove yourself as a Void Walker and kill people with sticky grenades.
Well,
or
I mean
whatever the
that's
fuck
what
we
they
have.
were, like Chaperone. Goddamn, Chaperone for Taken King, Thorn, Pocket Infinity, Bad Juju. super good advice. Like,
feel like
most
with
of those
Thorn
went.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. What?
I feel like with Thorn though, like Thorn was like, "Yo, this thing is dark. It's from the void. So go kill shit with void to power this up." I'm like, that makes sense to me. Not like I have quests for the Crucible now that I'm like, why the fuck am I even doing this? I have no clue like what the point of this is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess I don't really like the subclass quests because I'm like, it's just like a trophy basically. Like, you want me to prove my worth as a trophy. There's not like, oh, we need you to do this because it's going to help us. I want more of that. See,
More story behind the quest and have the quests have purpose. You know,
It's tough.
Make
too,
it add up.
Like Chaperone quest, I'm never gonna get the Chaperone because again, I'm horrible in PVE or PvP rather.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
Hey, you've played with me. You can verify this. But yeah, like Chaperone, I'll never get Chaperone because the way that quest is designed. Whereas like stuff like the new Thorn and I'm trying to think what else. There were a couple other new, like, is it Nova Mortis where you have to kill a bunch of people in the Crucible using Void, and then Abaddon is the solar one. You have to kill that.
I got those two very quickly. So
yeah, I burned through those in like one session, so I'm not even really sure. I can't remember it honestly, but the quests that I really like were the sleeper simulant style quests.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic.
And like
not
Black
so much.
Spindle.
That's another good example of
Outbreak Prime.
A really good exotic quest.
Outbreak Prime, I'm not a huge fan of. I think it's a little too hard to like find everyone to get it done, especially like now.
Yeah.
There is like the thing where you can go to Shiro and make it a little bit easier, but like I've had that quest for months, and I'm like, I don't fucking care that much about it. The guns, and then you have Sleeper though, which is like fucking boss melter extraordinaire.
Mm-hmm.
That quest is super fun.
It is. So, do you guys have any other stuff about story missions?
Yes. And it ties into with what we were just talking about with quest weapons and stuff. I think something I would love to see in Destiny 2 would have each subclass would have like a special